So basically the task list has these three things on it. There's writing I, there's the discussion board, and then there's what I'm calling essay number 2, which is really just an annotated bibliography. So, yeah, the other new thing, the announcement I made that you probably already got, but just so you know, the discussion board, you basically just need to go there and post one time, right? So I will give you the prompt. So you just have to do one, whatever my prompt is. So this week I'm basically asking you to post one annotation for one source that you have, right? So you click on this, click here to access thing. When you get there, you're going to create a thread that's your own, and it will give you the prompt. It'll just explain what you're supposed to do, and you scroll down underneath, and then you can put you can just type in annotated bibliography or whatever, and you're going to type in one of your sources. You're going to show me how you annotated. The idea meaning that you have to do these three things when you annotate, right? You're trying to summarize what the author's saying in the article, like the main point they're making, and then any supporting points. Then you're also evaluating it, like you're talking a little bit about the author, and then why they're credible, are they an expert, and what kind of evidence is used. So that's evaluating it, right? You're judging it as a source, sort of, and hopefully it's good. And then you're going to try to connect it and compare and contrast it to one of your other sources, right? So you're trying to say, okay, so while this person is arguing this point, this other person is saying something slightly different, or they're also supporting it, or whatever the case may be. So that's the most important part, is the compare and contrast business. So you'll type your whatever annotated bibliography in there, and then you'll post down here. Now, when I started, I was like, everybody has to do that, and then you also have to comment on two classmates. But instead, I decided to just make that optional, right? So after you post, after you post your response, your annotation, then you can look at other people's and you can make a comment. And if you do that for 2 people, that's 4 points of extra credit. So it's not required, it's just optional. The only thing I want people to do is post once. And what it does is it gives me a chance to look at your annotations and make comments on them, right? To help people make sure that they are doing it correctly. So, and then here's my example one. So you have the annotation at the top, and then you have the summary, so you can read that. The evaluation, again, I took this from a student from years ago or whatever. So the evaluation is there, it's just super short, and it would probably be better to make some sort of comment about the evidence that the person is using and why it's good or matters or helps. And then the compare and contrast, it just brings in another author and says, okay, this is like the other author, but the author says this a little bit differently. But that's essentially what you want your annotation to look like. And so by the end of the week, you're going to have 8 of these. Now, I'm working on the 3 for Fisher. So I still have to weed it down a little bit, because basically I'm going to try to do the Fisher ones, and then so you'll sort of have those, and then you can sort of just add those to your annotated bibliography. So essentially you just need to come up with 5 or 6 more. So yeah, this is me. I've just been taking notes on the 3 main readings that we did, and then I'm going to have to do what I just said. I'm going to condense it down. Here's the summary. I'm going to put in who Walter Fisher is and why he's an expert and what he did, and then I'm going to connect him and his ideas to a different article, right? And try to make some sort of connection, because that's sort of the most important part of that exercise, is to make connections. So that's the discussion board. You're giving me one annotation.